This time I ran at the earliest opportunity. Ran, literally ran. I ran. So one guy asked me, "Can you please look at me? I want to see whether you are lying or not." So I turned and looked at him. So he had some pepper spray and he sprayed it in my eyes, and I felt like some sharp pain and I was blinded. I couldn't even see my phone. They took my wallet, but they left me with my backpack and with my briefcase. Anything. Hi everyone, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Lavoisia Akolo, and I'm glad that you are watching. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing our videos and giving our videos a thumbs up, and let your friends know about our channel. So in today's video, I would like to share with you two episodes that I had in Nairobi. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya, and I'd like to share with you two incidences where I encountered thugs in Nairobi. So when I was in Nairobi, I lived in Nairobi for quite some time, like 15 years or so. First, as a student at the University of Nairobi for 5 years, and then I was employed and worked in Nairobi for about 10 years or so. So I was familiar with Nairobi, and I knew the good side of Nairobi and the bad part of Nairobi. So this particular incident happened when I traveled from upcountry, and the upcountry buses normally drop passengers at around 4 a.m. in the morning. Then from there you have to take a matatu or a taxi to your house. So that day, my plan was that after being dropped at the at the bus stop, it was actually Easy Coach, to be precise, at the railway terminus. So the Easy Coach bus dropped me at around 4 a.m. So I waited until it was like broad daylight, because it's not safe to leave that early. So around 6 a.m. it was still darkish, but not too bright, and people were already on the streets walking, and the vehicles were busy on the streets. So my plan on that day was to travel along Moi Avenue and then go to the ATM at the Kencom building, then walk towards my bus stop and head to my house, take a shower, breakfast, and go to work. So at around 6 a.m. I took my backpack and my briefcase. So at this time I was carrying some very precious documents in the briefcase. Actually, they were my academic certificates, because I was scheduled for an interview later that week. So as I was traveling towards Kencom building, just before I reached the Kencom building, there's this white car that came and stopped next to me on the road. So first, I did not give it much attention, because after all, cars stop all the time. But something which caught my attention was that these people in this car were focusing on me. So first I thought maybe they want to ask for directions. But then the driver of the car was holding a walkie-talkie, which means that So in Kenya, the policemen hold those radios all the time. I thought maybe they are police. Then the two men at the back of the car tried to motion me to get into the car. So it was a bit strange because I think I was old enough to know that never get into a strange car. And if these were thieves, then they were not up to the task. So as I was still trying to figure out what was happening, those two guys opened the doors of the car and ran towards me and displayed some weapons. Actually, they opened their coats and I could see the guns on their waistbands. So they told me to get in the car. So my first instinct was raise an alarm. But then I realized that if you have two against one, that will not work. So the next instinct was to run. Then I also thought, if I run and they have guns and they are two, if they are police, they shoot you and say you are running away from arrest. So to be safe, I decided not to run. Another thing I thought was resist. But I could see that resisting people who have got guns and they are two against one will not work. So then I chose to comply. So I complied and I tried to stay as calm as possible. So they calmly took me into the car and they sandwiched me between them at the back seat. So the first thing they did was to search me. So they didn't see any weapon. I was carrying my backpack and my briefcase, and my wallet, of course, was in my pocket. So they tried to ask me a few questions like, who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you going to? So I told them my name is so-and-so. I am a civil servant. I have just come from upcountry and I'm going to my house. So he tried to ask me, like, are you carrying something in your backpack? I told them, I just have clothes in my backpack. And in this briefcase, I only have my documents. So they asked me, how much money is in this wallet? I told them how much was there. They checked and they confirmed it was that amount. So they drove the car towards Uhuru Park and then towards the State House area. So they reached somewhere which was a bit deserted. It was still dark. It was not yet very bright. It was still a bit dark in the morning. So one guy asked me, can you please look at me? I want to see whether you are lying or not. So I turned and looked at him. So he had some pepper spray and he sprayed it in my eyes, and I felt like some sharp pain and I was blinded. I couldn't even see anything. So they showed me out of the car and they sped away very fast with my wallet. So, but funny enough, they never touched my backpack or my briefcase. So I was a bit disturbed. I was shaken. So I wanted to find out what is there any help I can get as fast as possible, because my phone was also gone. By the way, my phone was also gone. They took my phone. They took my wallet, but they left me with my backpack and with my briefcase. So I tried to walk around and see if I could see any sign of like help. And then I saw some light somewhere because I was not seeing clearly. So I went to that light, and it was actually a small hotel, or what you call a kiosk, and it was serving the early morning breakfast to people going to work. So I went and asked them, can you please give me some water? I've been robbed, and this guy sprayed pepper in my face. Please help me some water to wash my eyes. And these guys were like, they were not like looking surprised. They told me, this happens here all the time. So they gave me the water, and I washed my face, and they told me, please stay here until it is very, very, very safe outside, up to even around 8 o'clock. Then you can calmly go, because if you go at this time, you'll meet other thugs who will rob you even more. So I washed my face, tried to compose myself. Then about 8 o'clock, I went to a nearby bus stop, went to my house, and dropped my stuff there, and immediately went to see a doctor. So this was a very disturbing incident, and I was determined it should never happen again, because there are these people who just drive around Nairobi looking for vulnerable people to hijack into their cars and rob them. So one thing I will advise you is that if you're in Nairobi, try not to carry something that looks more precious. Try to carry as little baggage as possible. And also, if you're in Nairobi, don't carry any expensive equipment. Don't display any expensive stuff like chains and watches. Keep them safe. Also, if you're in Nairobi, I'll advise you, as much as possible, if you can, walk in groups. Don't walk alone, because if you're alone, you are target to those thieves or muggers. And don't approach any. If a stranger tries to approach you, treat every stranger as a potential thief unless proven otherwise. Never talk to strangers in Nairobi, because that's a way to get your attention and eventually rob you. And never get into strange cars, because you'll be hijacked and robbed. So even with all this knowledge, the same thing happened again. So this time, you won't believe what happened. I had alighted from the bus once again, another day, early in the morning. This time it was broad daylight, around 7 a.m. So I was carrying my backpack full of clothes, and this time I was traveling on Tom Mboya Street. So my plan was to go to the bus stop again and go to my house. So just immediately before I arrived at the National Archives place, a white car just came and stood next to me. I think if they see you carrying something and you're alone and it's in the morning, they try to identify you as somebody coming from up country, and you're carrying maybe some precious stuff to come and sell in the city. So this car stopped next to me. So this time I did not give them a chance. So they tried to motion me to get in the car. This time I ran at the earliest opportunity. I literally ran. I ran. So the car tried to reverse but could not get me. So two men left the car and also ran after me. So they were too fast for me, so they caught up with me. So I dropped the backpack and they picked it. So they asked me, what's in this backpack? told them, just my clothes. They told me, why run away? I told them that I was once attacked by thugs in this fashion, so I don't stop for strange cars. So I asked them, who are you? So they were like, they didn't say who they were. So I asked them, if you are police, let me see your identification cards. So by that time, the car had reversed and gotten to where I was. So they shoved me into the car, searched me, and asked me like some questions like, who are you? Where are you coming from? Where are you heading to? Where do you work? So I told them, I am so and so, I am a civil servant, I am from upcountry, and I'm heading to my house. So at this point, two guys at the front tried to display some guns. I don't know why they're doing that. And then the person who was at the driver's seat, who looked like their leader, tried to tell them, no, don't display any guns here. So they told him, they answered back to him, but we think you don't know how to use guns? So after that brief argument, they agreed that they're going to drop me at my bus stop and let me go. So they told me that, we know you are a civil servant like us, so let's take you to your bus stop, and please, next time if the police stop you, don't run because you might be shot. I told them I am fine with that. So they drove me to the bus stop. So this time I was careful to check the license plates of the car, the description, everything, the color, and the those people who are in the car. I took their description, like what they are wearing, everything, and I went and reported at the police station. So the police gave me an OB. But as I was leaving the police station, one police told me that I think that is a police car which stopped you. So I never followed up the case. So it appears that there are some police who drive around Nairobi in unmarked cars, looking for vulnerable people to stop and hijack and rob. So this happened some years back, and it's just good to be safe. Better be safe than sorry. So if you're in Nairobi and you're traveling, please observe some basic safety rules, like don't carry precious or don't carry stuff around. Carry as little luggage as possible. Don't display any expensive stuff like chains, bangles, and please, if you can, walk in groups. Look for a friend to walk with. And if you can be able to avoid walking and taking an Uber or taxi, even better for you. So it taught me a lot of things, and it has taught me that sometimes you don't trust anybody, even the police, because there could be some rogue policemen who don't observe etiquette. So treat everybody as a potential thug until proven otherwise. If they are police, they should approach you in a professional way. That is, they have to say that we are the police and we are here for this mission. So thank you very much for watching my video, and I hope that with my experience I have been able to enlighten somebody, to educate somebody, and to empower somebody. So if this is the first time you're watching our videos, please consider subscribing to our videos, to our YouTube channel. Please share our videos with your friends. Please give our videos a thumbs up and write your beautiful comments down below. Thank you very much, and let's see you in the next video.